Is that recently Sarah Feinberg, what she did was she got on TV and she said emphatically that the subways are safe. Okay, now we have to understand that the subway was in a mess even when Andy Byford was here. So before she got here, there were assaults on transit workers. There was also assaults on the public. Now, because ridership is down and violence is up, she now must tell the narrative of safe subways, and this is not correct. Um, if you ask a station agent who sits in the booth when there is an incident, they press the red button and all of a sudden they tell RCC, I need the police on the station. Sometimes they're there about 7 minutes if it's possible, and then sometimes they're not showing up. And now all of a sudden, where are they? I asked that question to a police officer. He says that a lot of us, they do 3 stations. So if you have something going on at 14th Street and they're covering 34th Street, by the time they get there, the incident is over. So this whole situation with the subway being safe and things of that nature it's not good. It's a good narrative, but that's not the reality. Charlie Muniz, what you say?
She needs a wake-up call. I can tell you that much. Because this last week, no, this past week, what am I saying? Those 2 murders on the A line, the other 2 stabbings at that guy, that homeless guy. Remember, he stabbed 4 people. He killed 2. Just yesterday, some nut job punched a 2-year-old in the face because she didn't get $20 from she was panhandling, and I guess the mother didn't want to give her any money, and so she punched a 2-year-old son in the face. Let me just remind Sarah Feinberg, last January, January, there was a report that crime has tripled since last year, and yet capacity is at 30% compared to last year. So is she blind, or is she just being ignorant? Or, I mean, she's a smart lady, so she's just plain out lying.
Yep, she is. Brother Staley, what do you think about this? Do you think the crime in the subway is down? Do you think it's safe to ride the subways?
Listen, that's a fallacy, man. This is what you get when you have people that are not really in tune with what going on within their job structure, within their home. I mean, she's supposed to be knowledgeable of what's going on in the system. Plus, if you're reading the newspapers, a lot of this stuff is hitting the papers. So how can you not know, what's going on in the subway system? Not only talking about the issue with the 2-year-old and the issue with the guy that was running around stabbing the other homeless people, but there have been other instances that's been in the papers of assaults, fights, even people fighting police officers. So what is she talking about? I mean, she's just posturing for the media, making it appear that she knows what's going on in the system. If you don't ride the system, then you don't know what's going on in the system. If you don't come in the system every now and then, even a person that doesn't ride often enough would see the level of level of problems that exist from homeless EDPs and so forth, that the average worker that has to stay down there for 8 hours would encounter. Yeah. So that means she's not even there as in a casual manner. She's probably being driven to and from, and she don't know how. That's why when we had that issue about them closing booths, they were closing booths that were very important to the areas that when me, Charlie, we were protesting about the booths, the closures that were downtown Brooklyn. There were important booths that were in areas there where there were jobs and shopping areas and so forth. Even the one that was underneath the borough president's office. These people were not aware of, and I'm feeling that's the mentality that's there. These people do not ride the subways, don't have no understanding, and probably got their preconceived ideas about it, and that's why they don't ride.
Very true. Brother Ward, let me ask you a question. Are the subways safe to ride?
Man, you and I both know we work down there,
Yep.
right? As far as the public don't even believe what she's saying. They ride the trains every day. Like Stanley said, this is a person. See, this is where you get the hiring people for these top positions that don't have no knowledge of the railroad system, period. I ain't talking about what you read. I'm not talking about what you studied. I'm talking about experiencing on a day-to-day basis.
Exactly.
Okay? These are people that's being driven back and forth from home to work. They don't even ride the subways. So how can you speak on the subways?
Yeah.
We're down there every day. You want to know if it's safe? Ask one of us. And we'll tell you. Okay? We'll tell you straight off the bat.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? I warn my family constantly. Keep your eyes open and your back against the wall. Because you never know when a crazy person is going to come and try to do some harm to you. At least you'll be able to see them coming.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
Bottom line, ain't nothing safe about New York City transit. We have too many, what they would like to say when they do get caught, mentally disturbed people riding the trains. But this is what we got to deal with on a day-to-day basis.
Correct,
All right,
sir.
let's go to this prime example. When they closed the system down from 1 to 5, they didn't want nobody in the subway systems. Okay, I'm a cleaner. I go downstairs to clean my platform, and I got 3 homeless people sleeping on the bench. I mean, you know, I do the subtle approach. You know, I get to know my homeless people that's on my stations. You know what I'm saying? I buy them something to eat. I give them something to drink. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is, I came across a cat one time. He was sleeping peacefully. And I asked him, I said, bro, you know the train systems is closed. You can't be down here. He simply said to me, who gives you the authority to tell me something like that? I can't, you know, I can't sit there and say, oh, transit. I left him alone. I went upstairs, told the clerk, hit the EBCS. She hit the EBCS. Police didn't come until an hour and a half later.
There you go. There you go.
You understand what I'm saying?
And that's the issue, sir. They're
But,
not
but
that
understand
time-
this.
By that time, old boy done finished his nap and went on about his business.
But understand this.
Now,
The police don't like to respond to them types of calls in the first place. That's number one. Number two, you shutting down the system. That just make these people stay on the stations now. They can't ride on the train. So they just makes them stay on the stations now because they're not going outside. They're definitely not going outside. So they're going to be on your stations more so than anything. Okay.
how do you expect us? I mean, how do you expect us to remove these people? It's not our job.
We're
That's
not
not our job.
That's not our job. And the first thing you would attempt to remove somebody and they hit you, then you're going to be the one in trouble. Not only are you going to be injured, but also your job is going to be threatened because they're going to run. Who gave you the authority to confront anybody like that? So we're not police, and we're not doing the job of police officers.
That's right.
But like I said, they don't like to respond to these calls as far as the situations because that's all over the system anyway. If the police was to respond to every call that people are talking about, people on their stations, what other jobs would they be able to take care of? Other crimes would be going rampant. Because this would definitely tie their hands, because it's all through the system. It's from one end of the line to the other end.
All right. Stan, I'm not gonna let you sit there and sugarcoat nothing.
I'm not sugarcoating anything.
Listen to what I'm saying. Hear me out. I'm not gonna sit there and let you sugarcoat nothing for transit police. All right? They don't do their jobs, period. They're too busy in our facility room. Let's
Okay,
call it like
all
let's
right,
call it like it is.
Okay,
Let's
I'm
call it
not.
like it
Not
is.
only
But
that,
wait a minute.
wait a
See,
Hold
minute.
up.
I understand what you're saying because
Hold
that's
up.
another
Listen to me.
subject.
Listen to me. I was at Parsons and Archer for snow duty. This last little snow duty we had. I was at Parsons and Archer. You know what I seen? In the mezzanine, they had their own little squares, the homeless people. And you know how big that mezzanine is.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
All right, we left there about maybe 5:30, 6 o'clock. You know what I seen? 5 o'clock, the system opens up to the public. I seen a dude selling rides for $2. And he had a gate key. He was opening the gate with the key, letting people in. Where's the police at for this?
Yeah, a whole bunch of them up here in the Bronx too. They
Where's
be
the
doing
police
the
at for
same
this?
thing.
Listen,
You understand what I'm
I
saying?
understand what you're saying. I wasn't sugarcoating anything. I was talking about the issue, one issue in particular. Okay, and you took it to something else.
No,
My thing
you
was
stated
wait.
they're not going to come to remove a homeless person because they got other things to worry about, other crimes to worry about. They ain't doing their job, period, man. They too busy trying to find a road.
You could
go
say
hide
that. Okay, but I was referring to the mass amount of people that are on these stations now because of them shutting down the train system from 1 to 5, which now I hear is supposed to be from 2 to 5 now. They're supposed to go to 2 to 4. 2 to 4. 2 to 4 in the morning. Okay. So that's all I was referring to. Now I wasn't speaking about the subject wasn't about whether the police is doing their job or not, but they sleeping in the rooms or if they in the room. It wasn't that. I was only addressing one particular issue. Okay. So that's all I was speaking on.
Now, let me
Okay.
ask you.
Let me point out something, okay? 2 weeks ago, Tony Utano had a news conference saying that we've been spat on over 200 times. We average over 200 times per year. Sarah Feinberg agreed with him. They had a joint news conference about the crime in the subway. All of a sudden, now she's saying that the subways are safe. Make up your mind, Sarah Feinberg. As a matter of fact, I'm calling you out, Ms. Feinberg. If you want me to show you what the system is really like and crime, come to 168 where I work at. I can show you all the crime there, those junkies there, shooting up, selling drugs. I can take you anywhere and I'll show you. You name the station, as a matter of fact, and I'll take you to 5 stations and I guarantee you'll see some crimes committed there.
Yeah.
Let me bring Brother Blocker in. Brother Blocker, do you think the subway is safe?
No. Just like I worked 168th Street. They were shooting up openly. One of the other stations I had to go to because the supervisor called me from them sleeping in the back of the mezzanine. She wanted me to remove some cardboard boxes. She walked right past me though. She didn't know I was the cleaner at that station. But when I got to the station, this was 181st Street on the A. And there was, I think, 3 people in different spots. And I waited, I did my job and I was doing my job. And then I had to ask, I said, ma'am, you went to the back, right? You know, I'm not saying her name. I don't really know her name. I never met her before. But I said, you didn't see them guys sitting over there shooting up? I said, what's protocol? Then I told her who I was. I said, ain't you supposed to call the police, but you worried about some cardboard boxes in the back? Then she did all of that. There was blood droppings all over the floor, and that was old blood. Then on another station, it had to be more than, and this was months ago, there had to be more than 100 syringes all over the tracks. And I brought that up, but that's when, I forgot her last name, Vanessa came down. You know, I called one of the new administration, the safety coordinator, I ain't saying no names, about a number of different issues with them syringes. And them syringes is dangerous. Cause see, I get, I'm not doing all of that. You know, I'm just saying for me.
Let me ask you this question because time is limited here. What should we as workers do to make ourselves safe in a situation in an unsafe station? Now, I know, number one, we all supposed to go to that booth and let the clerk know and get the cops there, okay? But if you walk into a situation where you see something, what do? Brother Ward, go.
If I walk into a situation and see something,
Well, you walk into a station and you realize, uh-oh, this is not right. And you don't want no confrontation, what do?
turn around and leave, bro.
Back away. Back away.
Turn around and leave.
Very good.
I'm not a cop, so I'm not gonna approach him.
Bottom line.
Exactly.
Me neither.
Okay, we have Brother Welcome here. Brother Welcome, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Brother Welcome?
How you doing, Brother Murray? I hear you.
All right, sir, let me ask you a question. Are the subways safe?
No, they're not. I think we're at a point in 2021 as we were in 1986 during the crack epidemic. The only thing is we having a different crisis. We have a homeless situation that is totally, completely out of control, also with people who have mental issues, compounded by people who have been ejected, lost their job, and homeless and refuse to be in the homeless shelters due to their safety. And so when you stress people, normal people, and you put them under adverse conditions, their back is against the wall, and it has something to do with their psychological. And therefore we have these issues, and I'm being honest with you. I was just thinking last week, it's like you want to come and protect yourself at all costs.
Yes. Yeah.
That when you used to come downstairs and walk the station, waiting for a train, if never now, you must keep your back against the wall. Because somebody who looked just as normal will be the one that will push you on the tracks. So no, it's sad to say we have a serious condition and there's no real addressing of it. When you talk about the police officers, I feel bad about them. I remember coming through the crack era when they started allowing them to escort us to the part-time booths because we were getting robbed and, shot on, spat on, stabbed on. I remember they would come to the station and they would come to the booth and say, "Are you all right?" These officers who are here now have no clue. They have no clue of their responsibility and why they are here to protect not only the workers, but the riding public. Now, when I say these officers here, I'm talking about a large percentage that if you don't have a skirt on, if you don't have no fake eyebrows, and you don't look a certain color, they will swipe, they will stick their hand through the turnstile, swipe they pass just to say that they were there and turn the turnstile bevel. And so as somebody who's working for this company, how do you feel? You never even came to say, "You good? You all right? Any problems?" Nothing. And it's done on such a large scale. So many do not want to do their work. I'm not talking about everybody, but if this is pressure and you don't like what I'm saying, then that means the shoe fit. It's like telling the cleaner he ain't nothing because he don't do his job. Well, that's not going to bother somebody who does their job.
Yeah.
Because their work speaks for themselves.
Yeah.
but it surely step on somebody's toes who knows they don't do their job. And so that's what applies to the police department now. And for this system to be safe, there has to be a physical presence with the police department, and they have to do their job. You can't keep sending people through the gate, because why would they pay? Why would you pay if you know that if a police officer there, yes or no, they're going to send you through the gate everywhere, anyway? It's so much wrong with this system now, with so many people in charge who don't have a clue. I feel for those who really, really have time to put in here, that if they don't speak up and listen to some of those that are here with experience, they're going to get lost in the shuffle. God